Hey guys, Coach Sullivan with FusBoxe Sambo 1 and Sambo 2. We're going to talk a little bit about something that people ask me about all the time. They're wanting to know, how do I throw a hook properly? How do I make it effective? So let's deal with how to throw a hook properly and effective. First of all, we're going to start out with the foundation of what you guys need to be good at. Everybody does, including myself, is at your stance. So we're going to set our stance up. I'm going to come back here a little bit so you can see a little bit more of my legs. I'm going to set myself in, and I kind of have myself ready to go. And I'm in the fight, and I'm wondering, all right, how do I land a legit hook on this dude? Well, first of all, if he lands one on me first, it's not going to matter. So I have to have my guard set up and real tight. I'm going to go bare knuckle on this versus using the gloves over here so you can see my hands and wrists and see the placement exactly. All right, so I've got myself set up. My shoulders are in. They're pulled up and up. They used to be explained to me like, keep them tight, keep them loose. So what I'm going to have you do is pull your shoulders up, but don't flex them. Just kind of gently pull them up as light as you can and see if you can get as much coverage for the bottom of your face as possible so strikes aren't hitting you through your shoulders. Hands up, they're covering the top portion of my head. Shoulders are up, covering the bottom portion of my head. All right, so we have three different ranges that we're going to work on. One range is real tight. And what I want people to avoid doing is arm punching or swatting. All right, these are two things that are really, really common when it comes to throwing the hook. So I want to stay in real tight. We want to keep it from becoming a haymaker. So I'm going to end up loading my punch, but I have to keep my hands up around my face in order to stay defended. So I'm going to rotate my shoulders. I don't necessarily need to turn my head. I'm going to rotate my shoulders. I still have an eye on this guy. All right. I still see you, and I'm going to hit you with this hook here in a second, and it's real tight. So this guy happens to be very close to me, and I'm going to boom inside, and you can see the back of my hand here because I'm going to stay real tight. The arc of my hand is going to lead to the points of my top two knuckles right here, and I'm going to kind of stick that into the ribs or into his noggin, whatever is available, or both. Bam, bam. You're going to stay real tight. Okay. So the second stage is kind of in that middle area. It's not a long ways away. It's not real tight. You're kind of in the normal, normal combat area. He's moving in. We're moving in and out. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my hand. I'm going to set it onto like a karate chop plane. You remember the old movies? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to load up. My shoulders are loaded. My left arm is now behind me. And now I'm going to bring it straight in. And I want to make sure that I'm impacting real solid, and my elbow is behind that hand. We want to create as much mass force as possible. All right? So I'm going to set it up. I set it right there. Real tight. Now, the final one is going to be at a distance. This one's a little trickier. This is the one I find a lot of people don't understand. If you throw your hook out like this, it would only make sense that you would impact with your fingers and possibly your thumb and create some serious issues for yourself. So here, load up, turn that fist out. Guys, got to have this arc in your hand. We're going to rotate it and crank the palm out, but your wrist in towards you, so you impact flat with those first two knuckles. All right? So we're in tight. You see the back of my hand. We are kind of in the middle, kind of like a karate chop right here. Elbow is behind. And then finally, we can't keep the elbow behind on this one, so it's going to kind of hinge from this. The power is going to come from your hips, right at the torso, and you're going to hinge out and strike with those knuckles. So we have three ranges, but what doesn't change is the footwork. I'm rotating this foot and allowing my hips to change position and rotating back, and my hip changes position. My right hip goes forward, my left hip goes forward on impact. Okay? So strike, 1, 2, and 3. Just like that. And you don't want to overshoot. We're going to hit, and we're ready for the next strike right there. Okay? Got to be ready for the next one. We don't want to stop, and we don't want to admire our work. Hit it!